Well, it looks like we're live. Hopefully you can hear me. I've been playing around with the OBS setup. So let me get to JMRI. So I need a JMRI window. And what you're looking at on the screen is my shelf layout. Oops, my window's not. Hopefully that's not interrupting my stream there. Got so many pop-ups and warnings. Show me all live chat. Oh, jeez. It's been a while since I've been on this channel. Been a while since I've used my OBS. So, let's turn on the lights. There's the layout, such as it is. It's still kind of more workbench than layout, but that's okay. Let's turn on track power. Oh, turn on track power. Let's show this locomotive. So this is an older, what is this? I don't know. It came in an Atlas box. It's an Alco RS11. I believe it's a, yeah, it says Kato on the fuel tank. So it's a Kato series Atlas. It has traction tires on it. And the problem I have with it is that it's not very good pickup, and it does that when it loses connection. And I'm wondering if that flashing the lights is something with the decoder, or if it's just the traction tires and that's the way that decoder responds. I have this other little loco, which is a Arnold Hornby SW whatever it is, 1500, 1200, something like that. 989. If we push in the address, and it has traction tires on it. And it doesn't do well through these Atlas turnouts, but on the Kato turnouts and the Unitrack, it seems to work pretty darn good. Let me run it up. Let me flip these and run it up through the yard lead. Make sure we're clear all the way through, and you'll see what I mean about the pickup on it. Oh, it made it through that time. Whoops. Missed one. Ah, there it is. So yeah, when it comes to those unpowered frogs, because it's a little short on the diverging route, it does not like to. As long as it's going at speed, it works okay. But yeah, you try to do any switching with it, and it starts having problems. But let me set up the other locomotive that I was going to do a speed match with, because I did his brother yesterday. So this is SPNS RS3. Number 95. So I'm going to put him on the programming track right now. We'll get into JMRI. We switch to screen capture. That's going to be a little wonky for a little bit. Let me do we're on programming track. We're going to do an identify. Locos moving. I can see it moving up there. So, got to add this one. And this is a CN. I think it's just a CN, not a GP, but whatever. Says it's a CNGP. 7995 new loco is SP and S 95. Save that. And we'll open the programmer. It's 95. It's Atlas RS-3. We're going to read the full sheet, keeping an eye on it to make sure that it's not running off the track there. Check the motor. We'll read that full sheet. Basic speed control. Read that full sheet. And this one has forward trim. So the one that I programmed yesterday did not have this forward trim, reverse trim. Unless I didn't look at I'm sure I looked at that page. But anyway, what I need to do to speed match this with the purple hat is we're going to set all these to 0. Changes. And then we're going to go back to the motor and we're going to set the acceleration and deceleration to 0. Turn that off. Lights and all the rest of that stuff is fine. So we close this and save that. Okay. Now the next thing I need to do is go to the LocoNet tab and start LocoNet over TCP. And that pulls up this little guy. We don't really need to see what's going on there, but we'll also monitor LocoNet. That gives us a window that's monitoring the throttle messages. Now we're going to move the locomotive to the main. Let's turn it around the right way. I'm sorry I'm doing this way down here, away from the camera, but this is where my headphone cable reaches to. 79.95. Now, if you're wondering why I'm putting 79.95 into my control, it's because the FreeMoN group that I belong to uses prefixes for the operators. So each of us gets our own 2-digit prefix, and then we use the last 2 digits of the road number as our number. Just get this warmed up. It hasn't been run in a while, so we'll just run her back and forth a little bit. that onto there. That is the IOTT stick with the purple hat on it. Made a little 3D printed depressed center flat car for that. And I don't know if you're going to see this. So, oops, make sure that didn't come off the tracks. Nope, we're good. So the little IOTT stick has a little display. Turn power on. And it has its own web server. So it's connected to my router right now. And then I can cycle through the displays. And this one has a speed readout on it. But it's harder to read it going on the car. So I don't really use that. So now the next thing I want to do is run this back to the start. Whoops. To the start of our test track. Come on. There we go. We have to run it back to the start of the test track and then make sure it's going in the forward direction. So I'm going to pull it forward just a little bit. Now what I need to do, am I still screen sharing? Well, I'm still screen sharing, so you'll get to see what I'm doing. And I'll make sure that I flip this back. Chrome, new window. This is the address for the purple hat decoder, or purple hat shield. Sorry, I was running back and forth. Come on. Well, normally it just connects right up. Server's running. Let's try that again. New window. There it is. Okay. Now we've got our screen. Module, we're getting our commands from our IB client. Purple hat sensor. This is all set up. Go to our purple hat, and it should know our wheel diameter, our scale, all of that sort of stuff. So now we go to Speed Magic, and I got to go back to JMRI because I forgot to do this step. Decoder Pro, number 95. I'm going to go select that one. Export roster entry, SPNS 95. Save that. Now I go back to my purple hat, load my JMRI file of SPNS 95. We are on the main line. Our profile that we're going to load is freight, and that has a maximum of 66 miles an hour. It's using 100% of the throttle, 100% of the speed steps. It's got the correct address in there. Our track length is 90 inches. Max speed And so this little graph lets us watch as the test is done. Make sure I flip that brake into neutral so the throttle on the command station is off, and I hit start test. And let me flip back to OBS and change this to, we're watching the cameras on the layout, and you'll see the locomotive coming past. It's accelerating. Little stutter there, but that's okay. It's going to accelerate up till it hits full speed. It stops. Now it will start accelerating backwards. You can see it moving in there. Okay, and because it didn't complete its run to full speed, well, maybe it did. Let me go back to screen capture. Nope, it didn't. There it goes. It's doing its the top end run to finish out to 66 miles an hour. Then it slows down, and it'll run back to the start of the test track. Okay. Let me go back to screen capture and go back to JMRI. I don't need that one, I want that one. So now you can see that traffic on JMRI is stopped. Let me go to my purplehat, and here you can see the graph of the speed curves, and it ran up above my set point. That's this line here. So it accelerated it up, went back, reaccelerated for the last little bit to make sure it could reach the top speed, and it has calculated all the points. Now all I have to do is go down here to this. It also calculates the forward and reverse trim so that it will match speeds forward and reverse. And then I hit write CVs, and if I monitor the LocoNet, I can see it programming. If we're watching the values here, it's up to CV 85, 89. Just watch it till it's done. CV 29. Okay. And so that's done a 28-step speed match on that locomotive. So now I can close this because I'm done with the purplehat for right now. So get rid of that. Whoops, get rid of that one. And I'm going to bring the locomotive back over to the programming track. So let me run it up here. Take him off of there. Put him on there. And I can turn power off to the little stick. And knock it off the tracks, of course. Get in there. Let's shove him back onto the siding. Okay. So we've got our rig back on the track. Oops, what's going on here? It looks like it's way delayed, but that's okay. Alright. So I've got it back on here. I'm going to bring it up on the programming. Let's see, basic, motor, basic speed control. I'm going to read that sheet. And those are still zeros, but we should see the forward and reverse trim get set, yes. And then we go to the speed table, and we'll read that full sheet. And we'll see that get filled in with all of its values. And the other thing that I want to do is go back to motor, and I want to change this acceleration and deceleration to 3 like I have the other locos set to. Okay, so right, that's undone. We can save and close that. Let me switch back to the layout. And let's put it on the track with its brother. Okay. First we got 7995, or number 95. Let's make sure it's... So that's its top speed. If I put it into brake, there's how far it'll coast from top speed. If I run it in reverse and flip to forward, it still coasts quite a ways, but I'll come back to the crossing. I'm going to flip it to reverse when I hit that. So you can see we've got some momentum there. But now, let me make sure this is going forward. And let's put this one on the track. And we're going to consist 7998 loco 78 mu plus. Done. Flip it to forward. Oh, maybe I didn't do this. 7998 loco. Ah, that's why. Okay, let's go reverse. Let's run it forward. Make sure it's going the right direction. Turn on its headlight. Alright. Loco 7995. Loco 7998. MU plus. And what have we got? I got another done. Okay. Loco 7998. More. Okay. Well, it says it's should be MU'd to 7995, but now neither of them are working. Loco 7998. Yes, we're going to steal that one. Okay. 7995 Loco. Put him in reverse. Reverse. That's what I thought. Silly thing. Okay, well, we do it elephant style then. Or not elephant style. What's the other way? Back to back. Okay, they're not coupled together. We're going to go forward. One's running in reverse. The 98 is gaining on it, but now they've coupled together. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Well, silly me, forget to turn the switch. Come on. Okay. You go back in there. And you. Okay. And then if we head them back the other way. So the bias is a little bit off. This one starts a little bit easier than that one, but that one catches up to the other one. But still pretty good. I'm happy with it. They're not going to be pushing each other all over the place. That's decent speed matching for minimal effort. So now there's a full speed run. For some reason, consisting on Digitrax, I always get these locomotives messed around. So now Loco MU 7998 MU minus, and that should allow me and then Loco 7995 Loco, yes. And now he's off and running as well. Okay, so those two are good to go. The only other thing that I wanted to do for this stream, since I'm just playing around, is I want to pull the traction tires off of this one, at least one of the traction tires. Now the other thing that I do notice is that on these trucks, if you look at the gears, most all the trucks that I've ever seen, the gears at opposite ends of the locomotives are on opposite sides. You see how the gear sets are offset a little bit. Oh, I guess I'm on the wrong camera. Well, that one's easier to hold stuff in front of. So this one I might have gotten the trucks installed the wrong way round. So before I do that, I got to pull the coupler boxes and then we'll check that out and see. I won't do that on the stream, but that's the first thing we're going to do. Okay, well, thanks for joining me for my little experiment, testing the stream setup and all that sort of jazz. And we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.